The following is not suitable for children under the age of 18. This show contains coarse language and sexual themes that may be deemed over the top, as well as my own personal views. Please note all characters of the show are fiction and are not targets of anyone or anything, but are made up for complete satire. It's back, bigger and badder than ever. You are listening to the Sky Genie Show. Hit the music. Hello, my masters, and welcome to the Sky Genie Show, the absolute worst show ever. We're on episode 23, and the very first episode for 2017. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I hope you all got really fucked up. Because let's face it, that's what New Year's is about. Celebrating the New Year and getting fucked up. Hey, maybe you've continued to get fucked up every single night since then. Because you got the week off. Maybe you're still recovering, so you got a hangover. So, I hope I'm not too annoying with your headache. I'm kidding, I'm only having fun. A lot has happened since the last show. A lot of celebrity deaths. People like Carrie Fisher, George Michael, and the guy from MASH. Sorry MASH fans if I don't remember his name. I'm sure it'll pop up. But man, there's a list of names and they're all legends of the business at one point. Whether you liked them or not, they were legends. Whether they were in the music business, whether they were in the film business, maybe just TV stars. But when you think of it, 2015 was mostly wrestler deaths. Guys like Roddy Piper and Dusty Rhodes. I mean, damn. Maybe 2017 they focus on the not so talented people. Justin Bieber, Miley Cyrus. Wait, what? I didn't say anything. I was going to sing you all a number. One hit from George Michael, because I thought, why not? But I can't sing or dance. So believe me when I'm telling you I'm saving you from that kind of embarrassment. Fuck that. You know what's sad though? Like, I'll listen to a lot of these artists, like George Michael or Prince and stuff like that. Like, from those two, I would know Wake Me Up Before You Go and Purple Haze. The rest of it, I wouldn't even know. But then I probably would have heard songs. So in a quiz, I would be terrible. But then one day I'll be going through YouTube or whatever, put on a song, it'll say, oh, this is from George Michael or whoever, and I'll be like, oh, that's who sings the song. Like, it's right in your face. Well, anyway, moving on. People interesting on where this show wants to go for 2017? Excuse me. For the direction of this show in 2017. Fuck it. Keep a couple edits in. For one thing, I now have access to Skype. So, hopefully, before the end of the year, maybe within a few months, I will be doing live editions of the Sky Genie Show. And if you think I fuck up now, wait till I'm live. Something I'll have to get used to. But then, with live, I want to make sure I have actual guests on. So I figured that's one weakness of this show. Hey, I got the extra guy to bounce off of. I think the quality and everything of the show gets better. Hopefully within the future, I don't just want to do a wrestling show. I love wrestling, don't get me wrong. I mean, I pretty much live wrestling. I also have other interests which I included music talk before. The celebrity deaths kind of helped with that talk. I also want to get a heap of podcasts or shows with audio who may be struggling, and there are a lot out there. What I figure is, let's do something where we get like a streaming sort of network happening of podcasts. What I figured is we have this online radio channel. You can get them for free, of what I've been researching. You can get free ones. You program and you stream, and you can do live shows and so on. But what I figure is we get a heap of shows, maybe get an episode back, put it on that network and promote it. To promote other shows, to have other listeners listening to each other show, because you can't listen to everything. I understand that one. The one setback to that, I kind of thought, would be that a bunch of podcasts getting together, yeah, but that's still not a lot of exposure. So what I was also thinking of doing, getting a big podcast to help out, any big podcast that's willing, and maybe promote it. The channel idea, I want to be completely free, because a lot like this show and other shows out there that aren't getting much are mediocre. A lot of them don't have money put into it, and we kind of rely on each other, really. So that's the direction I want to go for 2017. But as of this show, I'm not changing anything yet, besides the theme song. Give it a little bit of a metal flavour. Let's face it, I'm a metalhead. The song was performed by Kevin MacLeod on YouTube Audio, so a huge shout out to him. And for the songs I used for outros to breaks is Ethan Maxell. Some of these guys only want a description to their link down below, but fuck it, it's a good song, so I'm promoting it on the air, on the show. What we have coming up for the show, I have the normal Raw and Smackdown reviews. I will also be reviewing the debuting World of Sports, and also Wrestle Kingdom 11. I will also be talking about the sale of TNA, officially bought by Anthem. But first, it's probably what everyone hasn't been waiting for, my penis. See, you were not waiting for that. So let's segue into something else. For those wondering about Genie Jr, he has decided to go on a cruise. A romantic cruise away. Ooh. A romantic cruise with his llama. I don't know how the fuck he got a llama through customs. As a matter of fact, got a llama on a fucking cruise. But he did it. He fucking did it. I honestly don't know how to feel about that. Well, he is a special boy. After the break will be the Raw and Smackdown review. If you're looking for a very professional show to listen to the Solomonster Sounds off. His show, smokes this one entirely, is a very informative show. Join Jason Solomon as he gives his thoughts on the current events of professional wrestling. Catch his show on Podbean, Stitcher or iTunes. Also check out Jason Solomon's YouTube page where he does extras for pay-per-view shows or interviews with wrestlers in the business. Jason has interviewed the likes of Diamond Dallas Page, Bob Hardcore Holly, the legendary Jim Ross, and even Booker T. Definitely a show worth checking out. And all these good podcasts out there, you wouldn't think they fuck up a lot. Well, think again. I have a show for you. Yes, the Sky Genie. Make sure to check out the Blooper Show. The Blooper Show is made up of clips. Just like then, you can tell I fuck up a lot. So I get all clips that I fuck up on, put them together, and make a show based on being a fuck up. And I call it the Blooper Show. Check it out on my channel. Although the show may not be common, try to pick the good ones and put them in. At least getting a decent show. So check out the Blooper Show today. For interesting discussion and debates on professional wrestling, check out Johnny Florida, Michael Corvin, and Old Man Jenkins on Wrestling's National Committee. They talk a wide range of topics on the world that is pro wrestling. Check them out on Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. And we are back. And now for the Raw and Smackdown reviews. And now for the Raw review. Show opens up with Mick Foley, who's had a haircut and shaved most of his beard off. Talks about the Universal Championship match and putting Chris Jericho in a shark cage, which brings Owens and Jericho out. They banter back and forth. till Stephanie comes out, puts Jericho in a US title match against Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, with the loser being banned from ringside from that whole match. Don't know much what happened after that because tech difficulties happened, and that was with the network I was watching it on. But I guess they came back from break and it was Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. It was a good match, but a crappy logical finish. Winner by DQ was Seth Rollins. Why I say crappy logical finish? Well, you'll see why later. We then had Cesaro versus Carl Anderson in a really outstanding match. I won't say it was the best match, definitely really great. Carl Anderson gets the win. We then had Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman in a last man standing match. This match went all over the arena, all over everywhere, until Braun Strowman finally beat him down and got the win. After the match, Zayn was put on a stretcher, Strowman knocks him off and slams him into the barricade. It was a good fun brawl. Sami definitely made Strowman look like a monster. And moving on. New Day comes out and cuts a promo. They have entered into the Royal Rumble. Titus O'Neil comes out and wants to join the New Day, but it all fails and it leads to a match. Titus O'Neil versus Xavier Woods in a really stupid match. And your winner was Xavier Woods. We had a backstage segment with Bayley and Stephanie. Stephanie berates Bayley. Pretty much said she didn't even want her on Raw. But then nobody wants Stephanie on Raw, but that's another thing, right? Puts her in a number one contender match against Nia Jax. After that, backstage, we had a Rich Swann, Alicia Fox, and Noam Dar segment. We go to break and come back. Rich Swann versus Drew Gulak. After a pointless match, Drew Gulak got the win after a distraction by Alicia Fox and Tony Nese, who were at ringside. We had the United States Championship match. Roman Reigns defending against Chris Jericho. Again. It was a great match, but we've seen it. And unless Jericho is actually going to win the title, why are we getting it again? Winner and still champion Roman Reigns. We then had Brian Kendrick versus TJ Perkins. Another match that we've seen 100 fucking times. And what's worse than the Roman Reigns match? At least Roman Reigns gets a fucking reaction. TJ Perkins gets nothing. Nothing. And to boot, it was a boring fucking match. Now, part of the blame should go to Brian Kendrick, because he is the veteran of the two, and should know when a match is going bad to spice it up. But you got TJ Perkins here, who does not sell moves. You knock him down, he'll get back up. You knock him down, he gets the back up. You hit him with a 450, he gets the fuck back up. Stay the fuck down. Sell a bit, you fucking tool. TJ Perkins gets the win. We then had a handicap match, Big Kaz, because Enzo's still injured, storyline-wise, I guess, versus Rusev and Jinder Mahal. Pretty much a squash match, Rusev and Mahal win. We then had Bayley versus Nia Jax in a number one contenders match for the Women's Championship at Royal Rumble. I thought this was a good match. It was definitely something... It's okay, I guess. Not something to go out of your way for. Bayley wins after Sasha Banks causes a distraction. So your winner and number one contender, Bayley, was not winning it at the Royal Rumble. I'm saying that now. We then come to probably the best segment of the whole show, and that's saying something. The Kevin Owens show. As the show started, there was this guy in the ring, standing in the ring with a sign over his head with the Kevin Owens show. Me thinking the whole time, he's gonna get speared, this fucker. And I have to admit, I'm not a Goldberg fan, but I was still a little disappointed when the guy didn't even get speared. Hey, I've seen Stone Cold give Goldust a stunner when he's in a nappy or a diaper. Fuck, but Owens runs down his list of accolades, and he's actually... You're thinking he's talking about Goldberg, but it's actually Chris Jericho, who is I guess this show is meant to be like a Tonight Show. That's your Johnny Carson, and that's your Ed McMahon, was Chris Jericho, without the funny banter. Although they have their own funny banter of their own. Jericho puts Tampa on the list, and they cheer Kevin Owens, cause Tampa Bay stupid idiots. That brings out Goldberg, who jaw-jacked back and forth between the three. Goldberg says he doesn't care if it's Owens or Reigns, but he will beat them for the Universal Championship. Sorry I missed out. Paul Heyman comes out and announces that Brock Lesnar will throw him out. But then Roman Reigns comes out. They have a stare down. Braun Strowman comes out. Reigns and Goldberg hit him with a double spear to end the show, with Goldberg celebrating in the ring. Overall, it was a good show with some direction, although some things need to die, like New Day, TJ Perkins' WWE career. Yeah, I said it. Fuck, I don't like the dude. I'm not a fan, he's boring, brings nothing to the table. See no reason why WWE pushes him to begin with. That is my Raw review. And now it's time for the Smackdown review. The show opens up with The Miz going on and on as usual. As in 2017, he wants to be more forgiving and wants Renee Young to come out and apologize to him. After some remarks, Dean Ambrose comes out to beat up The Miz, but Miz runs off and hides behind his wife, Maurice. Then Maurice slaps him. Ambrose grabs the mic and tells The Miz that his night just got easier, plus Maurice hits harder than The Miz. We then go to the first match, Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. If you remember, earlier in the year we saw this before. This was a great match. Baron Corbin is the winner. After the match, Corbin goes to hit Ziggler with a steel chair. Kalisto makes the save and chases off Corbin. Ziggler gets up and hits Kalisto with a super kick, turning heel. Then have a backstage segment with Carmella and James Ellsworth. We then have a backstage segment where Apollo Crews and Dolph Ziggler get into a fight. We then had Becky Lynch versus Lyle Luchadoras, or whatever the fuck. After an okay match, they did a switch under the ring. Second Luchadora gets beaten by Becky Lynch. Mask gets taken off and it's Alexa Bliss. The original Luchadora attacks Becky Lynch and the heels escape. We then had Daniel Bryan come out for the contract signing between John Cena and AJ Styles for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble. And like the usual, they jaw-jack back and forth. They both sign it. Baron Corbin comes out and announces that he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. Cena goes to fight Corbin. AJ hits him with a dropkick and leaves. Cena, the avenging babyface, will probably win at the Royal Rumble. We then had Carmella versus some jobber. There was no reaction at all to this at all. It was a terrible squash match. Carmella wins via distraction by James Ellsworth. The new tag team champions, American Alpha, face Breezango. American Alpha win in a squash match. Bray Wyatt comes on the Titantron and challenges American Alpha to a rematch next week. We then had Nikki Bella and Natalya bitch in the ring for no fucking reason. I went to the toilet, and now I feel relief. We then come to the main event, the Intercontinental Championship. The Miz defending against Dean Ambrose. This was a great match. Not the best thing I've ever seen, but it's pretty good. Maurice slapped Dean Ambrose. Ref went to disqualify Dean Ambrose, but Dean Ambrose got the ref in time. Told him to just kick her out. So he did. Miz hits Ambrose with a title belt for the pin, but kicks out. Ambrose hits a Dirty Deeds and is the new Intercontinental Champion. Overall, it was a great show. Way better than Raw. Normally for the shows for the new year, they usually crown a new champion for somebody. I guess it was going to be the Intercontinental Championship. I'm guessing this will lead to the Royal Rumble with the rematch. Nikki Bella, Natalya, and Carmella were the albatrosses of the show. And that is my Smackdown review. We'll have some wrestling news after the break. For fans of the Sky Genie Show, please also make sure to check out Wrestling Soup. They drop at 9:30 on Thursday. Join hosts Anthony Missionary Thomas and Joey Numbers as they lightheartedly talk about what that's happening in professional wrestling, as well as other current events. While over there, please make sure to check out the Saturday morning Shitbox. Have your voice and question heard as Mish and Joey answer questions on their thoughts of professional wrestling or anything else going around in the world. That show drops on Saturday morning-ish. The weeks it doesn't air is because they're doing pay-per-view Sunday. Yes, whenever there's a WWE pay-per-view, Mish and Joey usually review it, sometimes with John Draper. They also have shows on Stitcher and iTunes. If you want to catch the boys live, check them out on Mixlr. For my masters who are wondering if there will be Sky Genie shows throughout the Christmas New Year period. So sorry. Not for the normal show, but check out the holiday edition of the Sky Genie Show. There you will find I review old wrestling shows from the past. I review them to today's standards. And to make it interesting, I won't even know what I'm reviewing until I do it. Of course I'll know before you, because I have to record the fucking thing, don't I? But it's filled with gags and more as well. So check out the holiday edition of the Sky Genie Show right here on my channel here on YouTube. For fans of the show, please also check out the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show. Don Tony and Kevin Castle show is a hard-hitting with brutal honesty type show as they give their views on the world of professional wrestling and WWE. They're also on Stitcher and iTunes. If you want to catch them live, listen to them on Mixlr. And we are back, and now for the news. The sale of TNA was officially made for January 1st. Anthem Sports owns 85% of TNA Wrestling, while Aralux owned 10% and Dixie Carter only owns 5%. This goes into what I've been saying for months. Dixie Carter will slowly be bought out year by year in the next 2 to 5 years. As for Aralux, they will probably stay in as minority shareholders. So really, in a sense, the reign of Dixie is over. Completely over. I think it's fucking great. The bitch does not know how to run a wrestling company, does not know how to manage talent or pay them. So there have been wrestlers there that have gone for months without getting paid. Not just wrestlers, production staff. To the point TNA fired all of them because they couldn't afford them. Which is why Aralux is in the picture to begin with. So I hope this, warning C-word alert, this cunt is fucking miserable. She is nothing but a compulsive liar, one of the most dishonest people I've ever heard of. Yeah, give some credit to Vince McMahon, but this bitch really fucked people over with pay. Not only that, would hire fuckwits like Vince Russo, who the only time he was ever good at writing was in WWE, but that's because he had a filter, and it wasn't all his ideas. Of course, there was Bruce Pritchard, Jim Ross. Everybody was involved with creative process when Vince Russo was there. For him to say he invented everything, fuck him. I watched TNA in 2008, that fucking shit was terrible. The wrestling was okay, but if you go back and watch half those gimmick matches, I mean, what the fuck? Oh, 2 people have to climb in a cage out of 6 of them. The 2 inside first have a match. Really, what stupid logic is that? I mean, fuck. The whole David Arquette thing is beaten to death from WCW, but also the talent she mishandled. And they're now in WWE, guys like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, even Eric Young, who I would think would be a TNA guy through and through. And it was funny when they made him the world champion in TNA. And the whole reason was because of Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was the big star at the time. And Eric Young happened to have a beard, because that's what they figured was getting over. It was because of the beard instead of Daniel Bryan's actual charisma, so they made him champion. And that was during Vince Russo as well. Okay, that was the behind the scenes shit. But anyway, hopefully it's clear sailings for TNA going forward. Alberto Del Rio and his brother were arrested in Austria after getting into a fight at a bar with some guy who was hospitalized. Both Del Rio and his brother were taken to a local police station where Del Rio and the brother got into a fight. Del Rio was apparently trying to calm his brother down, but it ended up with blood on the walls of the police station and the brother being hospitalized. Happy family. Del Rio had to have ankle shackles as he broke zip ties. Del Rio was at Raw on Monday with his girlfriend Paige. Paige was not with Del Rio at the time of the incident. And we'll be back with the reviews of World of Sport and Wrestle Kingdom 11. Here on the Sky Genie Show, I would like to announce we are also available on Podcast Gardens. There is a link directly below. I'll take you straight to there. So check out the show on Podcast Gardens today. Are you looking for a good laugh? Then check out Getting the Corner. Getting Dark Corner. Dark Corner. Dark Corner. With hosts Yuck Nasty and Dogger Baby. Every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. Check them out on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. For awesome music for your YouTube show, check out Kevin MacLeod. He has a wide range of awesome songs, which is what I use at the start of the Sky Genie Show. There is a link in the description right here for you to go directly to his channel. And we are back, and now for the last of the reviews. Now for the review of World of Sport. This was the return of World of Sport after 30 years. Names you might be familiar with this company: Finlay, William Regal, the British Bulldog, Dynamite Kid, all got their starts with this company. So there is a lot of history. And what they did, they had a lot of the legends there of that promotion. Showed clips of wrestlers past, like Big Daddy and Marty Jones. And you got to see them throughout the show. Jim Ross was the play-by-play guy. The colour guy, sorry the name escapes me, but I'll learn as it goes on. I am terrible with names when I meet people or see people. Yeah, I am that guy. Go to a bar or club or something, you see me there and you know who I am. Go, hey Sky Genie, I know you. I go, who the fuck are you? Secretly in my mind, of course. Funny, I go to play pool sometimes, or billiards, whatever the fuck Americans call it, because I always play random people, and I won't see them for a few weeks, and I'll see them again, and they'll be like, oh, remember I played you last time? I go, yeah, I have no fucking clue. I was probably wasted that night. But anyway, on with the show. Dave Mastiff and Grado wrestled for the World of Sports Championship. I haven't seen much of Grado besides some of his TNA career, but I don't watch TNA much. Dave Mastiff looked like a shorter, fatter Braun Strowman, but I would fear actually saying that to his face. It was an okay match. Nothing blow away. Dave Masters, playing the heel, had two goons who helped him win the World of Sports Championship to become the new champion. All this outrage, and then backstage they have this interview girl talk to the general manager, who is Max Beasley. Apparently he's an actor, but I have no fucking clue who he is. But anyway, he goes off and says there will be a rematch tonight with a battle royal with the winner facing the champion later on in the show. And they will have a series of matches, except for one match, with the winner of each match getting into the Battle Royal. But there will be a surprise in the Battle Royal with Grado and Mastiff's guys, or goons. Couldn't think of the name. Fuck it. So next match was a ladder match between Kenny Williams, Sam Bailey, CJ Banks, and Danny Hope. The winner had to retrieve the briefcase so they could enter the Battle Royal in a ladder match. And this was a great match. Bit of a spot match. That's what you get in ladder matches. Kenny Williams got the win after retrieving the briefcase. We then had Mark and Joe Coffey versus Rampage and Ashton Smith. Immediately my thing came to my mind, why don't the Mark and Joe Coffey call them the Coffee Express or Coffee Espresso? I don't know, something that came up with. Fuck it, I'm going with it. The Coffee Express wins and they go to advance into the Battle Royal. We then had Viper versus Alexis Rose. This was the only match not to enter the Battle Royal, and apparently the first female-on-female match in the World of Sports. They did have a female wrestler in World of Sports 30 years ago, but she wrestled men mostly. Viper is a big girl, and hell, fucking brutal, and Viper gets the win. We then had what I thought was the match of the night. El Ligro, no, I didn't say the other thing, versus Zach Gibson. And I fucking love this match, and mostly for Zach Gibson. This guy's gimmick is Stone Cold Steve Austin pre-neck injury, and his wrestling is Steve Austin of WCW. I just looked at this man and how he wrestled, how he had his character patterned down, and I just thought, this guy is a superstar. This guy is somebody you should be watching out for. And then I also thought, why did World of Sport not make this guy champion? And a bigger crime happened. El Ligro won. Nothing against El Ligro, but anyone with any sense would have went with Zach Gibson. Easy. But it was an awesome match overall. We then had the Battle Royal with all the winners and Grado. And the surprise guy was Davey Boy Smith Jr. David Hart Smith, or DH Smith for WWE fans. The winner was Grado. After the match, the Goons, I'll just call them the Goons, down Grado. Davey Boy Smith Jr. made the save, but it looked like Grado was injured, quote unquote. So after the break, we come to the main event. Mastiff defending the title against Grado. And after an okay match, Grado would beat Mastiff for the World of Sports Championship. And that is the review of World of Sport. And now for Wrestle Kingdom 11. Start off with the pre-show. It was the New Japan Rumble. Now this would be impossible to cover. It had a lot of legends of New Japan, including the original Tiger Mask. But your winner was Michael Elgin, who was the very first entrant into the Rumble. We then open up the show with the Battle of the Tiger Masks. For those of you who don't know, there's an anime series of Tiger Mask W was the good guy, and Tiger Mask Dark is the bad guy. Well, they had a real life match between the two, and it was an awesome match, with Tiger Mask W getting the win. We then have the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championship, Young Bucks defending against Roppongi Vice. Roppongi Vice have my favourite entrance theme. Come on, admit it, it's catchy. After a really awesome match, Roppongi Vice get the win. Now the new champions. We then have the Never Openweight 6-man championship in a tag team turmoil setting. Champions Finlay, Ricochet and Kojima versus Bullet Club's Bad Luck Fale, Hangman Page, Yojiro Takahashi versus Chaos members Jado, Ospreay and Yoshihashi versus LIJ members Evil, Bushi and Sonata. All the matches here were okay but not great. The winners and new champions LIJ. Cannot pronounce the name, so I just pronounced what Kevin Cully had said. We then had Juice Robinson versus debuting Cody Rhodes. This was a really great match. Juice Robinson has improved since NXT. I believe I said that before. Cody Rhodes was on top of his game here. Your winner, Cody Rhodes. The next match was for the Ring of Honor World Championship match between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. And this was an awesome match, and I think was better than their final battle match. The winner and new 3-time champion Adam Cole. There are rumors going around that Kyle O'Reilly is leaving Ring of Honor, and I guess him losing the title proves it, but then there's also rumors of Adam Cole leaving too. But we shall see. The next match is for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. Gorillas of Destiny versus Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano versus Makabe and Hanma. Apparently at a press conference, Yano stole the IWGP Tag Team Championship and the World Tag League trophies. But anyway, it was an awesome match with an awesome amount of swearing, which Steve Corino was laughing the whole time through the match. Your winners and new champions, Ishii and Yano. The next match was for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Kushida defended against Hiromu Takahashi. This was a very brutal but freaking awesome match. It could easily be match of the year. 4 days into 2017 and already a match of the year candidate. Your winner and new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, Hiromu Takahashi. Then for the Never Open Championship, Shibata versus Goto. This was also an awesome match. Also an awesome match. Though I do like awesome. This also was a match of the year candidate. With your winner and new champion, Goto. We then had the IWGP Intercontinental Championship with Naito defending against Tanahashi. This was an awesome, well-worked match, with Naoto retaining the title. And then we come to the main event. The IWGP Heavyweight Championship, Okada defending against Kenny Omega in what was an awesome main event match. Also Match of the Year candidate, although you can say that for pretty much most of the matches on this card. The winner and still champion, Okada. Overall, it was an awesome show where everyone brought their A game. One thing I'll say about this, because I absolutely love this show and I'm on a high for pro wrestling at the moment. Problem is, Raw will come around and it will kill it. Did that for me for Wrestle Kingdom 9. But this was an awesome show, and if you haven't watched it, you should, because it's that great. And that is the review of Wrestle Kingdom 11. And that'll be it for this episode of the Sky Genie Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. Go to our website at skygenie.weebly.com. Check us out on Facebook at the Sky Genie Show page. Check us out on Twitter at SDD916. Also over on Instagram at skygenie_1988. If you'd like to help support the show, improve audio quality, and make it a way better show, then please donate. Go to the homepage of my YouTube channel. There is a donate button. Click it, and there you can donate. But I want you to know that this show will always remain free. I'd like to thank you for listening, and I'll catch you next time. I always wanted to do this. Hit the music.